Once again, the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles, or IFFLA for short, programs some wonderful films, shorts, and documentaries from May 6th through the 10th. The 5-day movie mecca featured red carpets, industry days, Q&A with stars and filmmakers, and of course, some fun after parties. The festival kicked off with director Varsha Bharat's Bad Girl and closed with Lawrence Fallon's Little Jaffna.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi Chabra with ABS, coming to you from the closing night ceremony of the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles 2025. This year, the movies were bold, inclusive, diverse, and full of heart. Let's talk to the filmmakers, the actors, the creative trailblazers about what they took away from this year's IFFLA. This year, we've seen so many interesting films. So how did you decide what was good?
Honestly, it felt like an immense honor, and it was very humbling to be able to watch all the amazing talent in each of the films. And it definitely was a very hard decision. I think largely because all of them were so different, not only from covering different parts of our diaspora, whether they were filmmakers in India, or they were more diaspora films, or whether they were animated in genre or documentary. So it was very, 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 very hard.
IFFLA chose some incredible films.
Yeah.
So I know it's
Right?
so good. And I feel, the directors, if you look at them, the amount of wow, they're so good, they're so prepared.
What inspired Cactus Pears? Sabar Bonda?
The inspiration was my own experience of grieving my father. So that was the inspiration, because the thoughts that I had, I just wanted to stay away from that pressure, and I longed for a friend in that region. I thought that was an interesting idea as well for a film.
तुला जर गावची पूर्वी करायची असेल ना तर आहे आपल्या सोयऱ्याची तू इकडे तोवर बघून टाकू एखादी पोरगी
चल येतो का माझ्याबरोबर मोकळा जर बरं वाटत बाहेर
How was it like seeing your film up on the big screen at IFFLA? I think it's a really big moment, right? So what did you feel?
No, it was great. It was lovely. I think the best part of it was the film got the laughs that we really wanted, and I think there's nothing more special than sort of seeing the energy of a room change so collectively. So that was lovely. I almost was going to not watch it because I was quite anxious, and then somebody forced me to that you need to sit and it was a good decision. It didn't feel like a tough watch that I thought it would be just with everybody around. It was quite the opposite.
So tell me about A Fly on the Wall.
Yeah, our very close friend Chika called us to Willingdon Club and suddenly broke the news that he was going to die and would we go for his death. And then a week before the actual death, he called us and said, will we film the death? And that's how the film happened. We didn't hesitate for a second. Nilesh couldn't get a visa to go at the time, but we managed it long distance between us and pulled this really difficult thing off.
This is what he said after that. He said, I really called to tell you this, that this is how the day has to go. When you're shooting, you have to be a fly on the wall. You have to be absolutely still and not move. And then after I've drunk the poison and I've closed my eyes and there's 30 minutes, you need to pack up the equipment and you need to close it all up and leave. And I was like, but I'm your friend too, darling.
it was right at the beginning we didn't know it would be a film or not.
Right.
But because Chika asked his film is death, we knew that that wasn't a film, that was just like a procedural video.
Right.
So at that point, an idea came that if Shonali is going and if Shonali agrees to turn the camera on herself too, then it becomes a journey of friendship
Right.
as he is going for his last days. And Shonali agreed, and that was courageous. And that's where we had the casting of our film in place, Chika and Shonali.
You played the lead actress in Pooja Sir, a queer female police officer who's navigating such a complex environment. How did you prepare for this role?
Basically, I follow one police officers
Yeah.
who looks like a puja sir.
Yeah.
So, I try to follow her and her get-ups, her positions, how she speaks, how she walk, and like a macho
character, you know. She really wanted to be like a sure, you know. She doesn't like her junior call her like a ma'am.
Yeah.
So I really inspire from her. I don't know what she wants to call her or him, but yeah, I really inspire from her.
सभासदज्यूको छोराको ज्यानसँग सम्बन्धित छ हाम्रो सानो गल्तीले भयानक परिमाण ल्याउन सक्छ कुरा बुझ्छ
As a storyteller yourself, is there a movie that really stood out for you or something that moved you personally?
Truly, I love all of them. But it was what I will point out, because each of them deserve their own award, but I will point out as ones that stood out to me as something that we don't normally see. So for example, one is Bunnyhood. That was an animated film and that really just like touched on your heartstrings of trust and adolescence.
We're going to Big Buddies! It's just a checkup. Trust me.
To this beautiful film from a Kashmiri filmmaker, The Orphanage of Memories. That was just so heart-wrenching. Down to a horror comedy called Hey Babe. So again, I could go on and on about each of them, but there's so much to look forward to and so much talent at the festival.
Okay. How'd you do that?
I didn't do anything.
So let's talk about your film, Humans in the Loop. What inspired this film?
See, there's an article by a journalist called Karishma Mehrotra.
Okay.
She writes for the Indian Express.
Okay.
And she had written an article called Human Touch in a platform called 52, where she mentions data labelers working with AI, but data labelers being Adivasi women, indigenous women in India. So that became like a starting point. But really, when you think about it, it's a great premise. An Adivasi women interacting with AI. Where do you take it to? Because a great premise is often a great curse as well, you know. But I realized that the meat of this idea lies in the work that they're doing, which is essentially data labeling.
When I had read the story which Aranya narrated, I wanted to do it, not just because of the connection, but I think there was this AI thing.
Yeah.
Being an engineer, my last project before resigning from my job, I did machine learning.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So many similarities.
Yeah, I related it and I think I got the breadth of Nema. I really work on breadth.
हर कैप्चा के लिए आपके पास 40 सेकंड्स होंगे और आपको सवाल के हिसाब से फोटो मार्क और लेबल करना है.
You've been an actor, you've been a writer, you've been a producer, and now this is your first time as a director. So how is that experience?
Oh man, it was so nerve-wracking the first day on set, especially, but the whole thing. You know, as an actor, I've gotten to see so many incredible directors work in film and TV and stage, and I was really just trying to take all the lessons I've kind of learned over the past decade and embody like the types of directors that I've loved working with as an actor. And so it was nerve-wracking, but it was really incredible.
How does it feel to have Little Jaffna as the closing night movie?
It's a huge responsibility, I think, but I'm very happy because it's like, you know, you're ending the film festival and it's like a party. And for me, I'm very happy because the film is a party, and I feel like very, privileged to be in the film, the closing film.
How do you think the South Asian cinema scene has changed over the years?
It is like basically a village. And we are farming. So we constantly have to wait for a good rain to happen We're constantly waiting for good seeds to happen, and that's how we are kind of harvesting. So I feel, the crop will be better if we really put heart and soul into that.